Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Shoes. A lot of the things that used to be here are no longer here. Hey, did I make that maybe?
In a quarter mile, your destination.
I kept going back and doing more and it's drawing some sticks and splattering, and so it's constant layering of that, and it's really extreme. I'm literally taking like brushes like this and I'm just going.
Did you ever miss?
See that over there, that little plaza thing? There's a reason I keep that up there.
Oh.
And it still gets on the wall.
Oh Jesus.
You can see it all over see the splatter all over this thing.
Oh man.
It gets everywhere. Sometimes I'll have a piece lying around somewhere and like, oh crap, like I just splattered on something else I didn't mean to, and you get a big spot in your sky, you know, no. But you know, I figure out ways to fix anything. I really have dealt with tons of problems. This is down Cave Cove. It was a neat piece. When I posted it on Facebook, someone made a comment and said, you should donate that for the fires down there. And I was like, I like the idea. So I did another piece and a demonstration for a student, and I showed them how to paint this piece basically, which is painting these mountains and doing this different stuff and doing all the graphs. And that one, I ended up donating it to that thing, that cause, and I had to mat it and send it down to them, and they had a bidding war break out on it and raised them a bunch of money.
Nice.
So I was really happy, and it's really neat seeing everyone fighting over it. And that one was more based upon, I did that one a little more correctly and historically accurate to a certain church. Whereas this one was sort of a combination of a lot of things. I just sort of made my own place.
Okay.
So
it's partially out of your imagination?
Yeah, it's based off a real place, but it's sort of been turned into something else.
Yeah.
This is my sister's house.
Oh, wow.
And I took the picture for this on Easter. And this painting has a lot of meaning to me now, because when I took this photo, there's one thing I didn't do in this painting that was in this photo. And that was my Uncle Danny was sitting right here in this chair. And he just passed away in May.
Yeah.
And that was the last day I saw him. And so I looked there, I almost feel like there's a figure sort of hidden in some of the mistakes in the watercolor.
Yeah.
It's almost like there's a figure by that chair, and Uncle Danny's right there in that chair. And I noticed that afterwards. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, and I didn't intend for that. And I also feel like my nephew Bradley's hidden in there too. Bradley Yankee I didn't realize it, but someone pointed out that it looks like there's someone in the window, and I was just trying to make it dark up there, and it doesn't look like there's something going on in there. It sort of suggests some kind of spirits in there.
Presence.
Yeah, so it's all over this painting, which is crazy, and I did not intend to do that whatsoever. So, but this is a lot of fun, and I really enjoy doing it. I did a lot of stuff where I cut into the paper with like a knife. You know, I'll take one of these knives and I'll really, you know, cut into the piece, you know.
So are you self-taught in all this, or did
No, that'd be something else if I was, right? You know, Gary Brooks has been helping me.
Okay.
And he's this guy. He was the principal of Deer Park High School.
I don't remember.
Remember the principal, Gary Brooks, big tall guy, wore the Chucks. Well, I found him on Facebook, and he's putting all this amazing artwork on there, and I said, hey, I teach guitar. Would you be interested in trading paint lessons for guitar lessons? Because I was trying to do painting, I was trying to oil painting, and I couldn't figure it out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so he said, yeah. So we started doing that, and then he just said, get these books and this and that, and I quit watching TV.
Nice.
Yes, I had enough of this. I had enough of everything on there. It's all junk. It was pointless, you know, waste of my energy. So I started taking all my free time and doing this stuff, and this is what happened. So
did you just wake up one day and you're like, I just feel like painting?
Yeah, I woke up one day and I was like, you know, I want to do something else. I want to be creative instead of sitting here like every day. I would get up and watch TV and sit there and do my morning ritual and then sit there all day long and waste away a day, and you're just sitting there as a zombie looking at the screen until you go do what you have to do to make a living.
Yeah.
It's like there has to be something better than that. And you just watch like the news or this and that, and no matter like what you think of anything and your views are, you're gonna see something there and goes, oh, and it's gonna make you all worked up because there's always something that someone's not gonna like somewhere, you know.
Right.
So, you know, I just turned all that crap off because it didn't really mean anything to me. So, you know, I'm worried about what's going on in my neighborhood. You know, I'm worried about the pipeline going down my mom and dad's street.
Yeah.
No one ever talks about that there.
Right.
You know, we hear something that has nothing to do with me. That's all I want to talk about on there.
Yeah.
So I just turned that off. Turned on some Pandora, some music I liked, and started drawing and sketching, and then started painting, and then, you know, started doing all that. After a while, you start to get a big collection of these things. You know what to do.
Same with guitars and stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah. Right, here's the other one.
Oh, that's pretty.
So this is all part of a series. I'm doing a whole series on the Ohio Bicentennial Barns. I plan on having a showing of them. I don't know how many I'm going to do. I might do like 10 of them or something maybe.
Yeah. How many are there?
There was 102 of them built.
Yeah.
And I think one of them was taken down, 1 or 2 of them were taken down by storms. Derechos.
Yeah.
So I keep showing you some of these. This is part of a full moon series. When I do this one, I plan on building custom frames. And I'm going to put lights behind them.
Oh, yeah.
So,
do you do woodwork too?
I will be doing woodwork. I've done some woodwork, but just stupid stuff like when you're just cutting wood to make it fit for some project. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it'd be that much more difficult than what I've already done. Just using a miter and paying attention to what you're doing. Another piece I did. And I got the print for that. It's right here. So here's the print. There's the original. Pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah. So, what's that from on the side?
That is a good question. That, when I cut this, instead of cutting it down to here and having this little piece just cut off, I just taped right over that. Stapled my piece down and left the piece on the side on purpose. You're going, what the heck is this? That is, do me a favor and hand me that jar of them brushes. Thank you. That is me doing this. Smashing that down. Going like that. That was me like that. And the way I did that is,
so is that like your practice before you go on?
that's so I know what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
Is it going to be a big mess and look like that? You know, like, is it going to be too big or is it going to be more thin? You're going to see what kind of lines you're going to get. Is it going to be dark enough? Is it too dark? You know? So here, these I was testing for that. This is like my test area. So, you know, a lot of this painting I did with this brush, this bamboo brush. This cheap junk brush.
Bamboo's the best.
Here I got this brush. It costs like freaking, I don't know, 20 or 30 bucks at least. It's a Winsor Newton Series 7. It's amazing. But I didn't even have this brush when I painted this thing. Heck, I didn't have hardly any of these brushes then. I had this brush and a few other brushes, but I think I did most of this thing with that and a handful of other brushes I have. You know, some of these brushes are more new, but you know, I use this. I definitely use the smaller brush. I'll probably use something like this to do all that detail. You know, matter of fact, I'll probably use this brush because I did have this one then. And then I also have even finer brushes. Like I have some brushes that go freaking. Look at that thing.
Looks like you could stab somebody with that.
They get really tiny.
You ever tried it with a toothbrush?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I use toothbrushes. I use it for applying masking fluid. When I did this, I masked that wire and those wires and protected certain things. And then I think I masked this whole lantern off. And I masked all that off actually. I masked the wood and all that. But I put paper over that wood and just taped down the edges. I didn't use the fluid on there. I used fluid on these things. And then I did that background first.
Do you always do the background first? Or
Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
A lot of times I start with the sky. And this one I started with the background first because it was out of focus and wet. So I made it all wet. And I'm just flinging stuff in there literally. You can see where I just flung it. I'm throwing salt on there. And a big coarse salt. You know. Here's some I usually throw it in the bowl like this. And pull it out there and just, you know, fling it on there, you know. And you do it when it's wet, you do it at certain times, it does different things. So it's all part of my, what I do. Then I ready for a bigger piece. I used gel pen for the whites and that was fun. And this is a challenge piece, just to do it.
Those footprints or?
No, whatever they were, just shadows in the snow.
Yeah.
I have this friend that lives in like Austria or something, he takes these cool pictures. And that was a No Scum Allowed Saloon. I played there in New Mexico for Way Jennings. I was like in 2015. And that was fun. That was a pretty wild night. But it was a neat bar. As a Billy the Kid used to hang out there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think that's, yeah. And apparently he shot someone in that place.
Yeah.
Killed him, so. Imagine that. It's just sort of risky doing watercolors. Just imagine if it blows off into the water.
Well, it helps you get in the element in water.
But I had it taped down to a board so it wasn't gonna blow away.
Yeah.
I guess the board could have blown away. You get crazy things happen. You're painting and the wind's blowing and things going on. I mean, I remember I lost a pencil and I looked for like an hour for it and I didn't find it until like an hour later. It was like in my ear.
All right, white dwarfs in G. And of course is I think it's a C.
You like stuff like that?
Yeah, so make it funky. Ready? Oh. Send me away, find you. So many times you strayed. Come home, fresh and silent by your day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Right on.
Hopefully that lock is still there. Too. So basically, I was walking across the street, and I think that lock is gone.
Oh, was it down there?
Because it was over the creek bed.
Oh.
Right here is where it was.
Somebody just locked it there?
That's dead. It's gone.
That's kind of cool you captured it though.
Yeah, that's why I do these things.
Oh, this reflective that you can kind of see. There you go.
It's kind of like that lock that, you still have that?
And look, it's funny. There's marks.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It's a shame that lock's gone. But so I was walking around, and I said, "Wow, look at that!" I saw this lock hanging here, so I just like pulled my phone out real quick and took a snap. Snapped like one. I think I snapped one photo of it.
You still got the photo?
Yeah, I snapped a photo, and then I took and edited it, and I used the photo editor to change perspective and change. Watch out, you gotta.
Good.
I hate them things.
You're alright.
Leave me alone. But yeah, so I was walking around. That's the other thing, you're out here painting them things, always wanting to attack you, like, especially I'm using paints with honey in them and stuff. Oh, they want to come at me, like, leave me alone. I've been attacked by bees before when I'm painting in plein air. It sucks. I use Snelliers, and they got honey in the paint. They're made of honey. That's one of the binders. But yeah, so basically I was walking back around, saw that, took that photo. About a month later, I was looking through my photos, and I said, oh, this looks like it would make a good painting. So I did that one day, and that ended up becoming one of my more common, or one of my more popular pieces I did. And I've done prints of that, and I've sold, I think, between that and Lantern, I've sold the most prints in those pieces. I sold a print of those, one of them last night, that lock right there.
How much do your prints run for?
Well, that was fine art reproduction print, which I was doing. I did that one for like 25 for that show. Okay. So I keep them around that range for the high or fine art reproduction prints. And the giclées for that one would be like 50, maybe twice as much for a giclée. But they're all done with pigment, which is nice. They're not done with ink.
Yeah.
So it's like the paint what it's made out of. It's just the paper quality, which is, they're all amazing paper, but the giclées is like the highest museum quality. It's like the Cadillacs of papers.
Yeah.
Cadillac of prints. So that one will last for 300 years. The other one will last like 80 or 90 years before it starts to fade.
Okay.
So it won't fade in anyone's lifetime when I sell it to them. So I'm still not worried about it. That's like a fraction of the cost to have made. And I think it's a good way to do those and get your artwork out to people who aren't necessarily high-end collectors that want that giclée. It has to be a giclée or they won't have it. You know?
Yeah.
That's a high-end collector wanting those. And really I sell mine for too cheap. All my artist friends say you lowball yourself with your prices, but I just want to get my artwork out to people. So.
Do you have like a website or something that people can go to?
I do. It's www.nickgiese.online. I sell artwork on there, and I sell T-shirts and CDs, and it's both promotes my music and my art. So
nice.
It's a lot of fun. It's real rewarding too. At the end of the day, because you're making something, you're designing something, and you're putting it in the hands of other people who appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool. And you know, I'll look online every once in a while. I'll see someone wearing one of my shirts in some other state. I'm like, oh my god! I'm like, oh, I remember that person because they all had to buy them from me. There are actually times that people buy them I didn't see them because we did have merch people at times. And there are sometimes I see them like, well, there's someone with a Nick Giese shirt. I'm like, I have no idea who that is. Like they just bought my shirt. When I was playing, I didn't get to meet them or nothing because they left by the time I was done. And so, you know, it's neat to see that out there, and you know, I just feel real fortunate to be able to do what I do and paint and play music, and been blessed. You know, and I try to give back to folks when I can. You know, just try to do the right things when I can. So, you know, I teach music. I try to help people. I get certain students who are so good. I give them extra 15 minutes if they're really I got an opening, and they're like, went over. I'm like, don't worry about it. You know, I want to invest in you.
Yeah.
Because you got a good mind. And so I think it's worth investing in people. Money's not an option. You know, money doesn't really matter. Of course, they're paying for a lesson, but I want to. I believe in them, so I give them as much as I can. I've given people an hour lesson for a half hour, whatever, and it doesn't matter to me. And I've given people free lessons because I believed in them. I said, don't give me no money, you can't afford it. Just come to my house and I'll teach you what you need to learn.
Yeah.
You know, I believe in that stuff. You know, some people don't have the money to do that, so I help them people out. You know.
Yeah, I mean.
Because not everyone has parents that can afford lessons or whatever the situation is, or I go to their house and what have you, or I just love doing that kind of stuff. It means a lot to me, and I feel like you're investing into the next generation. People are doing this. People are this. This is what everyone is. They just stare at their phones, mindless, horrible. Like, I want to take this phone and throw it in the creek right now. I really do. I wish I could.
Yeah.
But I can't because I have so much things. My businesses and everything's through there. I hate it. I wouldn't have Facebook if I didn't do this. I like to hide in a cabin and disappear from the world. I don't want no one to see me. But doing what I do, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And you have to learn how to deal with it. But at least I'm teaching people the electric goes out and you're playing an acoustic guitar. Guess what, kids? You can still play.
Yeah.
Until you break strings and then you're no longer have strings, then you can still figure out a way to make sounds.
Yeah.
And the same thing with paint and artwork. You don't need anything but light. Be surprised electric went out and said, screw it. You can do work on this painting. Look at it in daylight. That what do it look like in candlelight? Yeah.
That's cool. You get to intertwine both passions of yours.
And I'm documenting my gigs with my sketchbook. Like I've literally
really
gone
cool.
set break and I'll sketch the stage. When we get back, I'll show you. I'll pull up the sketchbook real quick and show it to you. But I've literally like gotten my gigs, and while I'm on break, I start sketching on break what's going on, and I just sort of remember where everyone's at, and I draw them in there real quick. I've been on stage with everything I needed to paint. I was painting an hour before I played, then put it in my pocket and played a set with everything in my pocket because I'm in some town. I don't know anyone. I'm not leaving this shit laying around in a bar, you know, because someone's gonna might steal it, you know. So I keep it right in my pocket. It's right on me when I'm playing the show.
That's cool.
You know, and it's so concealable they can't even see it's in me. It's my pocket because it fits my inside the pocket in that vest. It's made to hold a gun. So if I'm painting, I can't bring my gun. If I want to do something, I'm going to do it. I've sort of been greedy in that way. When I want something, I get it. One way or another, I make it happen.
That's good. I think that's part of being successful. You gotta kind of have that mentality.
I want to learn how to draw. So I'm going to sit down every day for hours every day until I do it. And I'm going to stay dedicated. I'm not going to give up. The first 10 times I tried it and they go, I mean, I remember doing artwork and ripping the thing off the block. And I realized later on it's because I was using the wrong paper. It's horrible paper. You couldn't paint anything good on there if you wanted to. You know? All the techniques I was trying to do was destroying it. And I got so frustrated, I just ripped it off. I'm literally taking water and soaking it on paper, floating it around, colors around to do my skies. Like that desert scene, I'm literally floating things. I'm holding it, letting it float down the side just to get that effect. I'm not painting that in with a brush. I'm floating it in with water and a spray bottle, make it float more. Yeah. And then you get these neat effects and these soft edges that you can't paint in with a brush.
Yeah.
Because it's all dilutes the water out. And you put the pigment strong here and let it dilute all the way out to nothingness. I remember that first lesson I had with Gary Brooks. He said, get 300-pound hot press paper. Come see me. I went and bought it. I was like, geez, this stuff is expensive. Like, I would not have bought it. I would have bought the cheaper stuff to save money. So that's what I do, you know.
So then
Save
you're
money.
not getting that quality.
Well, I would save money, and I was like, wondering why it's so hard. And like, how's he making it look like that? And how the heck did you do that? Well, as soon as I switched that paper, I said, no way. I was like, are you serious? So you're telling me I just need to paint on this instead? Wow, like, and it made a difference. And then as I got used to that paper, I liked it. And that was a really smooth surface. And I learned to like the smooth surface first. That's where I really learned how to paint, was on a smooth surface. And then I started going back to the one that was a little more dreadful that it started on, which is cold press, which everyone goes, start on cold press.
Yeah.
I actually have done some good stuff in cold press. The piece I showed you today for that bridge was on rough paper, and that lock was on smooth paper. So those are two totally opposite poles of the paper. You know, one.
Are you cutting? I'm being nice.
Yeah, people aren't used to people being nice no more. You notice that?
I guess not.
Well, it's the sad thing is people expect you to be a jerk.
Yeah.
No one understands kindness when they see it. You know, it's
She's like, what? You're gonna let me out?
She's not. People aren't used to it around here. You know, it's funny that you put kindness on people.
Sorry, I keep hitting yellow lights. I don't want to
But yeah, so those papers were rough paper and a smooth surface. One was illustration board, which is like a really, really smooth. It's probably the smoothest surface I paint on. It's like absolutely no texture at all. Then the rough paper is like a really tough, textured piece that's hard to put a line across because your brush is bouncing across it. But the nice thing about rough paper is you can use that texture to your advantage to give you texture to your rocks. It makes your rocks look more realistic because they already got texture automatically because the texture of the paper.
Oh my gosh, like every single yellow light.
Yeah, change. Hey, welcome back to your park. We got it all.
Oh my gosh.
But
So we used to cut through it. Show us your boobies. So Deer Park hasn't changed.
Should I? I like to flash them.
Yeah, they need.
Hey! Wave my hat in the air. Yeah, you know, I feel like I'm a little different than a lot of other people that get into doing this stuff. I have a whole different outtake on everything because I'm.
There you go.
Keep the camera rolling while I show my boobs. You ready? Woo! Speaking of boobs, I have painted boobs. I've done a few nude figure
painted
songs.
boobs?
Yeah, I painted like naked women and stuff.
You painted on naked women?
No, I painted like paintings of naked women. I haven't painted on them, not yet. My friend does that. My friend Emily does the henna tattoos at these festivals.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, son, I paint all these boobs all day long. Hundreds of them. I'm like,
what if you did a series where you painted naked women?
I wouldn't be opposed.
Like
you set it up and I'll buy the brushes. I'll buy the brushes. You know, that's something I never really thought about and considered.
That's a thing, isn't it?
I know it's a thing.
Yeah.
We're going to get the razor blade out here and start I like to put a little highlight here in the nip. You know, take the X-Acto knife, start slicing on your skin.
You just put on your rock star outfit and then
get the X-Acto knife out. No, yeah, I think some of the techniques from watercolor cross over.
Oh gosh.
You see, that's what I'm talking about. Like my head goes in funny, goofy places because I start combining the idea of my techniques of watercolor, naked woman. Now we got out of business real quick at the hippie festivals.
Oh man.
That damn Nick Giese was there and painting with the watercolor, started cutting me with a razor blade. He puts phthalo blue on them and poison them. my paint had real pigment in it, you know, the high pigmented paint. Yeah. It is poisonous paint. You're not supposed to eat some of it. It can get you sick and even kill you. Egg tempera. You're supposed to wear gloves when you handle it. Yeah.
You have to get like
some of it's highly
paint.
It's highly toxic paint, and a lot of the paints I use are all artist grade paints that are toxic. Yep.
You ever thought about making your own paint?
I have. That's when you make egg tempera. Okay. Egg tempera, you're making your own paint.
Okay. Which one is it?
I'm at the yellow one. Just pull the driveway if you want. Looks like Mariah's here, so.
That's your woman?
Yeah. Okay. You don't know.
You don't know?
We've been friends for a long time.
Nick Giese, guitarist, painter, right?
Artist, painter.
Artist, yeah. Mr. Creative. This is your inspiration right here, right?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. Water is amazing. Words of wisdom.
You know, find things that are interesting to you and have a passion for them. You know, the people that achieve the most are the ones who really develop the passion for it. So find something that you really love to do, and something that really means something to you. And you know, I find things that mean things to me, or things that capture my attention, or this caught my eye, or this grabbed my attention for some reason. So that's what I gravitate to. But other things catch other people's attention because we're all different.
Right.
And so that's the neat thing about music and art is someone else might have a different view, a different take on it, and you know, that's the beauty of it all. And you know, 10 people could paint the same place and they'd all look totally different.
Yeah.
You know, and because this person might be seeing this tree here in the foreground and focusing on that, and this other person is focusing on the reflection. And the other guys said, "Screw it, I'm doing a waterfall." You don't even see a bridge in his.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how you see the world. You know, it's like that moment you want to capture. And that's sort of what I want to do. I want to capture that moment there, the stories, the day. Every time I paint a piece, there's a lot of memories that get built into that piece. Like where I want to go and where I've been. So like, you know, this is where I want to go and this is where I've been. And a lot of that's what it is. It's just things that, you know, places and things that mean stuff to me. So that's where all my inspiration comes from for that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to.
The Pope takes a poop and the President too, and the fancy pants banker in his three-piece suit, the big fat general and all of his troops. The truth of the matter is everybody poops. The famous brain surgeon has to leave his lump, and the high-priced model has to stop for a dump. But can the sides of Canada can't spray away the truth, 'cause even if they don't admit it, everybody poops. Everybody poops. Everybody poops. Sure things number more than two. Death and taxes and everybody poops. Some days it's easy, other days it's hard. But if your system's working, thank your lucky stars. Nobody talks about it, not a word is said. If you're not pooping, then it means you're probably dead. The destitute and homeless have to do it, it's true. But even all the wealthy people gotta make do. And if you live long enough, it's happening to you. Sooner or later, everybody poops. Everybody poops. Everybody poops. Sure things number more than two. Death and taxes and everybody poops. Death and taxes and everybody poops.